So please welcome the strategy director of NORNORM, Emil Steenhouwer.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me. This is going to be super fun. And we're taking this company globally as we speak. And we started in August, so we have not yet turned 1 year, but I'm humble when I'm saying that we have already come quite far. And I think we have a lot to thank for that, because we have had a lot of good things that we decided from day one. And one of them is circularity, as Klaus mentioned. And I think many looks at disruptions and what will be the new ways of working, and what happens now when you can work from anywhere, and how will that redefine the space. I mean, this week I'm sitting in Åre here and working from and using their skiing facilities in the early mornings and late nights. So what will happen with office furniture and home offices after COVID, when we can start moving and interacting with each other? Because it's quite interesting, because 100 years ago, most companies own their buildings. But today it's only 3 to 4% that own their buildings. And today we are also leasing our offices, coffee machines, copy machines, and even our plants. But nearly 100% still own their furnitures. And that is just telling me that is broken. So for us, it's all about, if you could stream furniture, NORNORM would be it. So we want to create the Netflix or Spotify of office and home office furnitures. And this is, of course, quite complicated, because it's physical goods and a lot of other parameters. But we also want to do this in a totally new business model that is fully circular, subscription-based furnishing model, which is flexible, affordable, and inspiring. And to do that, we need to change the business model in itself, and that is what we are doing today. So if you don't own, you can replace items that we can circulate to others, which makes it affordable for more. So by rethinking the new way of ownerships gives the possibility to actually start circulate it in things between each other, which is also making it more affordable and better for the planet. But we actually started off was to be good for people. And today, 8 out of 10 coworkers are dissatisfied with their current workspace, according to Ipsos. And this was before COVID, I want to mention. But we need to inspire people to work together and create creativity and productivity. And how to do it has changed due to COVID, I believe. And the need for flexible meeting spaces and collaboration spaces will increase. So we took the start and also created 3 basic looks, which is Nordic Light, Nordic Dark, and Nordic Black and White. And then we also tracked down the best furniture brands in the world, defined their iconic products. So we're super happy that we are working together with Hey, Herman Miller, Gemla, Martella, Hem, Takt, Silencio, and that they also want to work with us. But we're also trying to buy everything used, both from our existing customers and other places out there. So we are also delivering products and furnitures that are better than new. So, and then we also have a vision that other players can actually hand over their furniture to us, so we can circulate and deploy it to others, and they can also make money on it, like artists are making money when other people streams their songs on Spotify. But to be humble, I believe that we're not there yet, but that is our vision and where we are heading. But today we are owning our furnitures, but in a couple of years, I believe we can be one of the largest furniture companies that are not owning their furnitures. So we're using better than new and recycling furnitures as well. And if we do that, we also need to create timeless design, because the business model for me is having these furnitures deployed over and over and over again in order for us to be a profitable company and making money. And we are doing this for office spaces. And I think we can all agree on that office spaces will most likely look quite different after COVID. So we are doing, apart from classic workstations, everything that is like freestanding furnitures, which are collaboration areas, coffee areas, lounges, dining areas, etc. But we're also doing this for home office. So we can actually deliver home office to companies around the globe, and we are doing this today. And we have also innovated in producing several different office sets because we understand that people have different living situations. And the second part is that this needs to be good for business. It needs to be affordable with no investments, no long-term commitment, and you can also cancel it whenever. And by doing that, you probably think that this is probably quite expensive. But we rethink the model, and we created a model where we charge only €1 per employee per day. So that is actually less than you are paying for your coffee. And including in that pricing, we deliver everything from designing your workspace, all the furniture you need, we deliver it, assemble it, and set it up. And we also have the flexibility of that you can change whenever. And we also remove the office when you cancel it, and etc. So the third thing is that we wanted to create a flexible solution, because for most businesses, the furniture is not what making their business. It is just an attribute of what they need. So if people is one, or if companies goes from 5 people to 500 people, they just want the office and the furniture to change with them, and they don't want to spend a lot of money and time on doing that. So we understand we need to be flexible, but if you as a customer want to change, you need to change like the sets and the need. You cannot change the specific products, and that is just for us to secure that we can circulate it to others and plan for it. So if a meeting room needs to change to a dining room, that is no problem for us. And if you're scaling up or scaling down, we will solve it for you. And this is a quite simple idea, but the complexity behind it is enormous. So we created switching days. So in Stockholm, we can switch one day, Gothenburg the other, and Amsterdam the third. And that is just for us to be able to do it in a circular way. So we're also building a new infrastructure, because what hit us is that there is no reverse logistics today. Everything is built around one-way delivery, so nothing is built for returning and also circulating to other. And by taking this approach and rethink it, we can actually control this, so we can define what to pick up and when. We also know what furniture and where they are. Everything is labeled with RFID tags, so we can track every move each furniture is making. And we can also find them and put them in carts and circulate them to other fast. And then we're also developing the perspective of no waste, because if you unpack furniture today, it is just an unproportionally amount of waste in terms of how much carbon, plastic, and air it is. So that we want to change. And we're also not seeing ourselves as a furniture company. We see ourselves as a tech company, because this is all about enabling technology. We have innovated around this perspective by using computer-aided design, so we can actually deliver a 3D floor plan proposal within 24 hours. So if you are out there thinking of how could you change your office tomorrow, and if you want to get some material that you can send to your boss or co-workers to get input, just send us an email with your floor plan, or just adding the information about the size and how it looks like. You can even draw it up on a napkin, and we can then send you back a repurposed area within 24 hours. You can also scan your stuff to understand what it is and how it is being used. We have the reverse logistics, and we also map up how your space is going to be used depending on how we design it and what layout it has. So this is an example of how an office could look like when we are drawing it, and how you can fly into it. And we have more than thousands of this, and we have put in more than 10,000 hours, so you don't have to do it. And all is iterated around creativity, productivity, and well-being, and also circularity. So basically, send us your floor plan. You can select and choose your styles and add what needs you have. And then we send you a proposal that you approve, and we can then deliver in weeks, which is also unheard of today. So, but why did we enter this? What is our vision behind this initiative? And for me, it has all been about being good for people and good for the planet, because our vision is that we want to create a better work life for the many people. And then you can say that our model is built on variables that others tries to avoid. And what do I mean with that? Well, the biggest challenge is that a lot of companies today is in love with their business model. as an example, we have retail. They're in love with their stores. They want people to come visit their stores, pick up their stuff. They see everything as competition or digital disruption. And I think many companies struggle with rethinking the business model. And that is exactly what we are doing, because we do not know if this is going to be profitable. I mean, we have our hypothesis, but it's going to take 5 to 15 years down the road when the furniture has been used, when we can actually tell, are we being profitable or not? And that scares the shit about most leaders. But we're humble when it comes to the tasks and what we must achieve, but we are extremely bold in our ambition. I think that is needed. So that was a bit about NORNORM and where I'm spending my time day and night. And the best and most interesting part is to do this in a circular way, and that we're also creating a positive impact. Because there is so much furniture out there that is not being used or ends up in a landfill. I think the number is 8.5 tons a year in just USA. And a lot of those furnitures are in perfectly good shape for another 10 years. And that we need to stop, and we're going to stop that. And then just to end this presentation, I just want to highlight the importance of incorporate the circular approach from day zero, and that businesses need to rethink their business model and making circularity a part of a profitable model and not treating it as a side subject just to have some good lines in your yearly report. And I also think it's super important to be bold about your ambition, but humble in the execution and be realistic. But to highlight one more time, the circularity needs to be a part of your profitable business model when you plan for it. So that was everything I had to present. And yeah, that was NORNORM. And here you have my contact information if you want to know more, or if you're thinking about either implementing home office solution for all your employees, or if you're thinking about how you can rethink your offices for tomorrow.
Thank you, Emil. Fantastic, really inspiring. I don't know if we have any questions. I can't see any questions in Zoom right now, but I don't know if we have a question in the main sort of software for the conference. It doesn't seem so, but I have one. Emil, how ready do you think we are here in Sweden, for example, and in the Nordics for these kind of business models compared to, for example, Asia? I know you've been expanding into Singapore, for example. So yeah, can you expand on that?
Yeah, of course. I think it depends quite a lot on what kind of COVID restrictions each country has had last couple of months in order for the maturity of the people or customers that we are discussing with. I think here in Sweden, where we have had quite few where have actually been possible to go into the office. I think the Swedish companies are quite mature in understanding that the office will change going forward, but they haven't really understand how it will change. They know that it will need to change, and that needs to happen during the fall when everyone is vaccinated and can start integrating with each other. But what is actually top of each minds in especially Sweden is the home office solution. Everyone understands that, and all of our research shows that people want to continue working from home approximately 2 to 3 days a week, but they also want to have the possibility to go into an office and collaborate with each other and interact. So from speaking to customers, they understand the need of creating more collaboration spaces to repurpose and to most likely change the layout and stuff like that. But the top of the agenda is how can they solve so all employees have a good ergonomic working station at home. And they also understand that everyone's home doesn't look the same. Someone is living in a small apartment and someone has a big house with their own office. That we are solving, and we are also taking on the administration of planning all the deliveries and stuff like that for €1 per employee per day. So it's basically less than a taxi cab a month for your employees, and you don't need to add any extra work for your HR managers or stuff like that. And then looking at other countries, for example, in Europe and in Asia, I think they have come quite further in understanding also that they need to change their office, and they're actually planning on doing that already. But I also think it's going to be like what we say in Sweden, catch-up effect in when we're going into the summer, when the fall is approaching and everyone understanding that, well, we're going to go back after summer in some way, not like as we did before COVID, but in some way we're going to go back, and then we need to change and update. So we're having a lot of discussions, and of course we have implemented more than 12,000 square meters in Holland and across Europe. So we have tested this, and we have customers testing this, and so I think this is it's quite good timing for us. Before COVID, no one spoke about offices and how to change your office and how to work with it. Now that is on top on everyone's agenda, even though everyone hasn't come to sense how they will change it, but they understand that a change is needed. Great. I don't know if that answered your question, but I hope it did.
Yeah, great. And you will be with us until the end here, Emil. Yeah. So if anyone in the audience have questions for Emil, you can post them in the chat throughout this session, or save them for the end. Thank you, Emil.